transfer the money to the account. And within 45 days, they withdraw the money from the bank. Now, the only way we can prevent this is this the only way, and that is my opinion.
Yeah.
And that is what I think the government should also look on.
Yeah.
They should have a meeting with the bank or with the Bank of Ghana, and there should be a policy they should apply to all banks. If any customer henceforth can't open an account for a very short period, they should take note. Secondly, if any large amount is being transferred from wherever in the world, they should also investigate, block the account first, investigate the person before they release the money.
Yeah.
These are the two major things that they can do to stop Sakawa in this modern world. However, Sakawa was a different form of making money. This is how it goes. There are ways people sleep in coffins. If you go, there are 5 or 6 places in Ghana where I can give a surety that people go and they sleep. 1, Agozino in the water region. Number 2, Atibugu in the Brown Afro region. Tungo in the northern region. Tamale, Walga. And then western region, Abzi, Elugu on that road. Now, these are the very high class malams, whereby some of these our top officials go and visit. Outside that the youth of today normally go and see them for money. They sleep in the coffins, let's say 12 midnight. They go and get a coffin box, and the minimum amount you need to invest to Sakawa is just 500 Ghana cedis, hold 5 million cedis. They go to the market like Kantaman to Abubushi and buy petty things like perfumes and other things. There's also a supermarket at King's People, they call Kabla Supermarket. That's where they get some of these perfumes that they buy. And aside that, they go and sit down in the night, arrange for all the kind of necessary rituals, and then they perform their money-making rituals. Aside that, sometimes I ask myself that some people say they make something called blood money. What is blood money? Now, blood money comes from whereby you see the accidents happening on the roads of today in Ghana, especially on the Kumasi High Road, on the Castor High Road. You may not understand why all the passengers in the car, just died. The reason is that they perform certain rituals that they are looking for a virgin, or they're looking for certain people, whereby they have to kill all the passengers on board before they can get that person. That is why there's a junction called Tetebu Junction. I repeat, Tetebu Junction. Tetebu Junction.
Tetebu.
Yeah. On the Castor Widiba High Road. That junction, on that junction, on that very junction, every single day there is an accident. If there's an accident, there's a car which gets called. The reason is that from Tetebu Junction, there's a village about 100 or 50 kilometers. There's a village there whereby they're full of Awes, or there's people from the Togo land, whereby they live in mud houses and shrines, whereby they perform certain kinds of rituals. Now, for the past, let's say, about almost from 1990 to 2010, I've realized that every single day, people die on that very junction.
From when?
1990.
1990
to 2010. Recently, when the Accra Winneba High Road was made, that was about 3-4 years ago in the Kufuor government, we realized that there were a lot of accidents on that way because of the new road that they just built. And basically, it was on that very junction. Who knows why? Investigation that I carried out found out that there are spiritual things going on at that very area. Second of all, the youth of today in Ghana here, they say blood money. There's nothing like blood money in Ghana here. It's in Nigeria and in Benin. Blood money in Ghana here is very difficult to get because they have to perform rituals such as killing of a baby. If they kill a baby, they need between one day old to 6 months old. This is the minimum that the spiritual world wants. When they get this baby, they cut the neck and then they pour this blood into a pot. Now this sacrifice is made every single year. So every single year, you have to make a sacrifice of a human being. And it's very difficult to get. Now, aside that, if the blood keeps dropping from the pot, your money also gets finished. That is how the spiritual world is. The spiritual world is your soul goes into the spiritual world. How much money you can carry, bring it. That is the spiritual world. Some people can carry $240 million. Some people can carry $100 million. I have friends and I have people who have seen and witnessed that have been able to carry $240 million in this country. So the spiritual world is there that people don't believe and they do not know the consequences behind it. However, the youth of today are being forced into this kind of thing because of unemployment in the country. So they are being frustrated and they don't have any other way to go or any other things to follow. So I don't blame them, I also blame the government as part of it because they are not cooperating. If they are cooperating, this things will not have happened. And therefore, we won't experience things like this. If you could remember, some years back, some people go to the shops in town, they go and buy a phone, and when they return back home, the phone turns into stone. I don't know whether you've heard of such issues. This is what happens. When you go to the shop, they have this one called dwarfs. These dwarfs are being sold in Elugu. Some goes for as low as 30,000 Ghana cedis, and they feed on smoke. Some feed on other things which I don't know of. However, some shops of today in today's modern world, they've written do not touch on their showcases. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah.
But do not touch because they're scared. Let's say when they come to the shop, they say, oh, I want to pick this, I want to pick that. Whatever they pick from their shop, go to their house and they return home. So it's a thing, it's something which is happening in Ghana now, but people have not really known what's really happening. They blame that, oh, my money is missing. Your money is not missing. Somebody sitting somewhere sent it to have to come for the money. Especially it happens to the banks and other places.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
You were telling me earlier that there's a time limit and a certain limit of money that these so-called malams or jujumen or whatever.
Actually, what is happening is because the demand
and as soon as the money is finished, is that, and then you begin to behave in a certain kind of way, live a certain kind of life.
Let me emphasize on that. What is happening is because the demand is too high. When demand is high, price increases. When demand is high for any commodity in the market, price definitely increases. It's also in the spiritual world. When the youth of today, the demand is very high, they want to make money. The spiritual world also sits down and make a target for them. That look, we are not going to give you more than this, and we are giving you this number of years. Agree or not agree? They said, okay, agree. Recently, you will not see people going in town carrying coffins, but today, midnight, you see people in town going with coffins because the spiritual world want to expose them.
Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Barrier Kaswa, from SCC Junction to Kaswa, 12 midnight on the top of July 2008, around the hours of 12:30, you see 4 boys carrying coffin, crossing. So it's not just they were just crossing. The spiritual world has given them that you have to go and expose yourself, and there's nothing that can be done about it. They've given them a minimum of 300 to 500 million. They've given them to about 300 to 500 million CDs minimum.
When you say expose yourself, naked?
No, I'm not saying expose yourself, but they want to expose the identity.
No, I'm saying when they are carrying
no, they are wearing white.
Okay.
They have to have special rituals that they go through. You have to sew some white gowns, perform some rituals. It's not easy to carry that coffin because that coffin contains a whole lot of rituals that they've done in it. So by daybreak, the box will be full of money. That is why you see normally the Sakawa cars we have in town, the Toyota Corolla or the Chrysler, and you not see one boy sitting in it. You only see 4 or 5 boys because the 4 or 5 boys were involved in making that money. That is why you see, you don't see one Sakawa riding a car. No. It belongs to the 4 boys because the 4 boys collaborated to go and make that money. Now there's another new form of Sakawa whereby they say, look, the 4 of us should come. We all sleep in the coffins, but one of us will not come back. If you agree, let's do it. But who amongst us will not come back? Now we don't know. So there are different ways of making money in this spiritual world. Some go and marry snakes. That's why you hear today they vomit snakes in people's houses to make. And they are not one snake in that people in the wrong origin. It costs 50 million cedis, 5,000 Ghana cedis. It vomits 200 million cedis a day, every day. That is 20,000 Ghana cedis every single day. There's one at Akuma Junction. In someone's house. He vomits 20,000 Ghana cedis.
Where did you get all your information from?
I'm a person who is not scared of anything in this world apart from God. Number 1. Number 2, I'm very adventurous. And number 3, I'm very inquisitive and curious to get to know anything to any level. It cost me a lot of money to undertake all this investigation because I've been there, I've seen it, experienced it, and I've passed it. I didn't do it for my own, like for the sake of I loving it. I just want to know what the secrets of the world. That is why I went through all this. At the moment, I can mention a whole lot of officials and top malams who are into this business, but for security reasons, I'll avoid that. Is there any questions that you'd like to ask or you'd like to know?
No, please continue.
Aside that, with the Sakawa world right at the moment, according to my personal investigation that I found out, you can see that a lot of kids are getting missing from the system and they're being published in the newspapers that their kids are getting missing. They are not getting missing. They are being kidnapped and hijacked and kept at different places in warehouses, for God's sake, children's warehouses. They are being fed, they are being sheltered, they are being clothed. So let's say you come to me as a malam and you want I tell you go and bring a boy, a girl of 2 and 2 age, and you don't have it. I have some in my warehouse, I can give them to you. You buy it for 1,000 Ghana cedis, and then you go and do whatever you want to do. It's happening in the system now. So there are a whole lot of things going on in the system, but people actually do not sit down to get to know what is happening.
I want you to repeat the time limit as far as the money is concerned. You say the person gets only 500,000.
That is what the spiritual world.
Money is finished.
That's how the spiritual world is. They pull all the money that you have can make in your life. They pull out for you. So if it is only $100 million they can pull for you, they'll pull it for you. If it's only 100 million Ghana cedis, they'll pull. If it's only 50 million old Ghana cedis, they'll pull. And when they pull all that, they steal your life limit and they give you only 5 years. Before they used to give more than 5 years, it was 15 years. But now because the demand is too much among the youth, they reduced it to 5 years. So that people who have heart will go. If you don't have heart, you don't try. Because after 5 years, the money is finished. Now because of this youth of today, they are not educated. they are illiterate. So they do not know how to invest the money. So you see them riding in flashy cars, roaming in town, chilling. When the money gets finished, they become ordinary people. Some of them, because they cannot abide by the rules, they go crazy. Some of them become sick. And sometimes affect their family, because their family also fed on those monies. So it is a cycle. Once you venture into it, it's like you carry your whole family into it. No matter how you pray. People pray and pray and pray and pray, but if you don't have faith in praying against those things, believe me, there's nothing you can do about it. Because it is a cycle.
So that's one way, yeah. Do our churches and our pastors know about what is going on right now?
Yeah, some pastors.
What are they doing about it?
Yeah, some pastors may know, some pastors may not know. However, it does not depend on the pastors or the churches. It depends on the individual Christians. Christians go to church to pray and worship God, but if they know all these things, they should be told about all what's happening instead of told about other things. If they are being told, now they can pray against it and prevent it. However, if you don't have faith in your prayers, you can't just pray to God and say, God, please protect me. No. The evil world is also working. Yeah. So if you don't have faith in your prayers whilst you are preaching or you are praying for yourself, it will not work. But someone sitting somewhere just looking into the bowl of water and saying, look, you this lady, you have to die. Yeah, it's happening. Because people are praying, they say they don't understand. Yes, you will not understand God, they are powerful than you. But you know our God is powerful than them. But how to use our God as a weapon to fight them is our own way. But they have their weapons, we have our weapons. But how to use the weapons is the problem.
No, but then I know also that we do have the weapons, and for the sake of the young people who be watching this anywhere on the net or whatever, I know, for example, in Ephesians chapter, I think 6 or 12, says that for we do not fight against flesh and blood, against principalities, spiritual hostess, in darkness, in high places, whatever. Is that what you're talking about, like fighting them? Because in Ephesians it's mentioned that you put on the helmet, armor of God, the weapons that we have is, our mouth, our prayers.
Yeah, I agree to what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is that, for example, I know that you believe in the tongues, the spiritual tongues.
Well, I believe in.
Yeah, most people do not know about the spiritual tongues. I believe in the spiritual tongues, because the spiritual tongues is very powerful because of the Holy Ghost. Yeah. Now, if there is the spiritual tongues, and then those people believe me, they cannot fight against you, no matter what. Okay. But you can't just use it. You have to have faith in it. How many of today can use the spiritual tongues? You can't count. Yeah. Because they know what they are doing. They feel guilty. They cannot go ahead and talk to God. You can sit in your house and talk to God and communicate with him every day, because God knows that you are genuine. Yeah. But if you are not genuine, your conscience will not agree to what you are doing.
Now, having said all this, what do you think is the solution? What do you prescribe? Apart from this forum that would like to add to a lot of people, because at the end of the day, Christ also said his word will be preached, to all nations, and that's one of the reasons why we're on the net. Anyway.
Well.
And then, on the government side, what are you telling the people in authority? What are the solutions?
Well, what I'm trying to come up with is that if at the moment Ghana's population is quite close to about 20 to 23 million. Yeah. If you look at the youth of today, let's say they are also quite on the high side. So what we can do as a government as a whole is that, number one, if we can get more of this, I believe in whatever you hear is what you do. If you keep on hearing a certain thing all the time, that is what you practice. Whatever you see is what you do. So if you have good and positive kind of hearing all the time, you will practice good things in life. Therefore, if the government can look for ways and means of what I'm saying, or let's say try and get more people like me to come out and talk to this youth of today in different venues, instead of organizing shows at Accra Conference Center, instead of going to the Jubilee House, instead of going to all kinds of entertainment centers and organizing all kinds of shows which they want to benefit, they can help the youth by organizing some of these platforms.
Well, I know there are people who are out there who haven't listened to us, who would like to, on the quiet side or behind the scenes, would like to, promote such a venture. Are you prepared for it? Could you come up with some sort of a plan on paper that it could be taken up, so that through our medium, they can get in touch and then we actually tackle these matters?
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm ready to do that.
Okay.
So that won't be a big problem.
So could you please continue, or the other matters we would like to touch on?
Well, with the Sakawa, that is normally the information that I have. But if I don't want to go into details or mention certain things because for security reasons. Yeah. However, these are the things that I want the youth of today or the public to know what is happening. Yeah. Aside that, there is one more thing I'd like to emphasize on elaborate on. That is, there's a bottle in town called the snap bottle. The snap bottle is green in color. It has two shoulders. It is very warm in temperature, and it has mercury inside the bottle. Now this bottle can only be found in shrines. I repeat, in shrines. You cannot get it anywhere.
Have you seen it one before?
Well, I tried my possible best to look for this bottle. I have seen about 20 of these bottles. Out of the 20, only one was a genuine bottle. I went to Lubo, I went to Benin, I went to Togo, I went to the north, I went to Volta region also to look for these bottles, and Brown Apple region also. These bottles, they exist, but because of the way people know that now it's a business or it's a demand on the market, they have means and ways of charming the bottle. You can come and buy the bottle. The bottle, the starting price is $300,000 US. I repeat, $300,000 US.
Where did the bottle come from?
The bottle was being used by our own ancestors about 200-300 years ago.
Are you different bottles or just one bottle?
It's just the only national bottle that our ancestors used 200-300 years ago.
Okay.
It's not a common bottle. You cannot get it today in this modern.
No, I want to be clear on this.
Yeah.
You know, they are schnapp bottles, right? But then who filled that? How many particular schnapp bottles have been filled and existing in different parts of the area? I don't want you to get me wrong, viewers out there, but we know that when we talk about the golden stool, it's only one. Exactly. So there is not going to be any other golden stool anywhere, right? If we talk about the sword that Confanacho put down, there's only going to be one.
Give you a classic example.
Hold on. If we talk about, the cup that Jesus used for the Last Supper, there is only one. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
Let me give you a simple example.
Give me a simple example.
Look at Guinness for today.
Yes.
Remember the old Guinness bottle?
Yeah.
Then you see the new Guinness bottle. Because of marketing, they change their packaging.
Okay.
So they come up with the new bottle.
Okay.
The same way, Snap was a company selling local gin.
Yes.
Now they changed their packaging. And now they are giving a new bottle.
Okay.
Now that bottle was being used by ancestors.
Hold on. I want to make it clear to viewers. I remember we used to have what we had a small club bottle. It was so small they used to call it Akufuado. Because it was short. So okay, now I think we understand.
Exactly. So that bottle was being used by our ancestors, and I think the years between 100 to 200 years ago.
Okay.
And at the moment it can only be found in shrines, because that is where it has gone to land.
Okay.
Because some people break them, some people threw them out because they didn't know.
Okay.
But people who knew them kept them. So it has been in someone's, it's a tradition.
Just like the old £1 notes people have been looking for.
Thank you. After that, the water is used to instill chiefs. So the water is just a tradition. If I come as a new chief in the custom or whatever, they use it to instill you, so they cannot be sold out.
Okay.
Now that bottle is being kept for spiritual reasons.
Okay.
There are spiritual things that
with mercury in it.
Now that bottle, people are looking for it hell. They are traveling all over to get, but they do not know. See, it's all people's imagination and hearing. Oh, Charlie, some bottle they hear, then they are running. They go there, they don't know what's happening. I went to the Brown Apple region and I saw the bottle. The bottle is not blinded. The bottle is hanging in between the rocks in the Brown Apple region. It's hanging in between the rocks. It's just hanging there. Nothing is holding the rocks. But once you touch the bottle, stand or strike you. You cannot take the bottle and move. No, they have to perform some rituals. People spoke to the man and look, we'll give you 10 million, 100 million, 200 million, remove the bottle fast. The man said he cannot himself remove the bottle because if he removes it, he himself will die. So the spiritual word is so strong that people don't know and they're running for these bottles. And the youth of today should know, if they dare go for this bottle, they will counter or strike them. Because the bottle is not an ordinary bottle, so they should forget about it. And if someone should succeed in getting the bottle, he or she may not go scot-free because the gods of the land will not be happy of that person. So we shouldn't try it. That is as well. Now there's also now one a singer machine, the old singer machine, the one used for sewing, which is about 150, 200 years old. Under the singer machine there's a rod which also contains mercury, which people are also looking for hell. They're running all over town looking for it. That's about 5,000 to 7,000 Ghana cedis.
What do they need that mercury for?
No, I don't know what contains that rod, but I believe there's mercury in it. What in Ghana or what mercury can do, I don't know what you know the use of mercury.
I don't.
Mercury can be used for printing money. Mercury can be used to carry cocaine. Mercury can be used for a whole lot of things, but people don't know.
Let me ask you, you said in carrying cocaine. In what way is it used to carry cocaine?
No, you see, for example, with that snap